Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm Dave.
I'm Catie.
And today we're going to talk about Survivor Season 31, Episode 5, entitled Snake in the Grass. And who is the snake in the grass, Catie?
It was Monica, just like we called it last week.
Yeah, we pretty much called this one. The previews. It was one of those times when the previews pretty much gave everything away.
Well, actually, no, I disagree. I feel like it took some detective work on our part.
Did it?
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
we didn't think that first of all that Bion would even go to tribal council, and I guess there were only two options, Kelly or Monica. So just a little bit of detective work, but it did require some.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess I thought the editing did a pretty good job of making you think that Angkor could go back to tribal council because they did play up the whole Abby throwing Wu under the bus for his sympathy story. So,
Which we'll talk about.
yeah, Abby.
Unfortunately, which means we have to devote more time to Abby, but it's got to be addressed.
Par for the course with this season, man. So yeah, the big story here is Monica did end up going home. That was my pick to win the season. So I am wrong.
We usually are. I mean, you have a 1 in 20 chance of getting it right. I mean, and we have no idea how it shakes out. So
it's pretty tough to predict, but yeah,
it's impossible.
I still think someone like Sierra could win the season, though. Like my train of thought was on point, but picking Monica for that to fill that role, that was obviously a huge mistake, especially after seeing tonight's episode. It becomes very apparent that was not a good choice.
Yeah, but she made some idiotic moves tonight that I don't think. Did she make those idiotic moves the first time around?
Kind of. She made herself seem like a threat to Russell Hantz, which is like kind of a big no-no. But that was his first season, so no one really knew what he was like, But yeah, she kind of threatened Russell directly to his face, which is like a recipe for getting voted out usually.
Yeah, they had to know after 1 or 2 days with Russell that you don't poke that bear.
Yeah, exactly. You got to sneak behind his back, and that's the only way to get him out. But yeah, so she's dumb.
Well, yeah, one of her first. Well, before the credits even rolled, they showed her and Kimmy Kappenberg and Kelly Wigglesworth clamming or crabbing in the ocean, which is apparently what they do. That was their role. And she said something along the lines of, "This time around, I'm not living in the moment. I'm not living day to day. I'm living for the end." And you and I talked about this last week and how that was Varner's mistake, is that he was thinking of the end. He wasn't thinking of right now. And both of them are gone now. So I think it's pretty clear in the beginning of the game, you have to live moment to moment and be adaptable moment to moment.
Yeah, I think it is key to keep the goal of winning the game in your head and like, I want to be here on day 39 and all that. But you don't know what that's going to look like because Survivor is going to throw all kinds of wrenches into the mix, and you don't know who's going to be there. You don't know how it's going to shake out. So you kind of do just have to live one vote at a time with the goal of making it to the end, but you can't really expect to be there.
And I feel like if in the early stages of the game, if you actually do want to make it to the end, what you can do is prove your loyalty to the alliance that you have. And she committed the cardinal sin of breaking that, or at least suggesting she was thinking about breaking it. She didn't actually do it, but she put it out there and it bit her in the ass.
Well, what's funny about that is she didn't actually go against anyone within the Bayonne alliance. She was going against Spencer, and I guess that was enough. I guess that was enough to piss Kimmy off.
She didn't present it in the right way because Spencer was an option. You know what I mean? Like it was Spencer or Wigglesworth. If she would have come about it the right way, instead of saying, let's keep our women numbers strong, she could have said, well, maybe Spencer's a better person to get rid of, and could have manipulated their thinking into getting them voting out Spencer and just not tell them her real motivations for doing so. I think that something a smarter Survivor player would have done.
Probably, yeah. Could some of the credit maybe be given to Spencer for being so much more likable this time around? Or maybe he's always been kind of likable. But yeah, the fact that he's likable now, especially to Jeremy and maybe the other women too, made it anyone who went against him kind of like they're quicker to be like, what are you talking about? I don't like you.
Yeah, I don't think that anyone has explicitly stated it yet, but I think more than one person is maybe thinking Spencer's someone we can work with. And so this first vote was just their way of saying, okay, we'll get rid of Wigglesworth, because that was their initial plan. And then we'll cross that Spencer bridge when we get to it. But I think that at least Jeremy and maybe some other people are thinking Spencer might be someone we can use. So
definitely, yeah. Yeah, so Kimmy is just, not Kimmy, sorry. Monica is so stupid by saying, like when they're clamming, she's talking about, we can't deplete the ocean because we need to have this food, but I'm here on day 39, so we better not eat these clams now. Could you say anything stupider? I mean, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
The thing that occurred to me was you don't even know once you merge that this is the beach you're going to be at. So that
there's so many things that are flawed about this thinking. It's absurd.
You don't put that out there. You know, think about maybe the next tribal council or the next immunity. You don't think about day 39 because you have a 1 in what? Or you have a 3 in like 16 shot of being there. Those are not good odds. So just think about your next meal.
Yeah.
And you know, you do not fight with Kimmy Kappenberg about food.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't end well.
I know. Like, of all the people, like, she's going to approach Kimmy and start a fight with Kimmy, or like even
food.
I mean, I know she's not starting a fight per se, but I mean, she might as well be. You don't say something like that to anybody, let alone like someone who's known for this in the past. Like,
that's like her Survivor calling card is like having an altercation concerning food.
Exactly.
So just don't mess with her when it comes to food and just keep your mouth shut. With stuff like that, it's the little things that eat away at people on Survivor. So, you know, I'm sure it's much easier said than done. We know it's easier said than done, but you got to just bite your tongue with stupid fights like that.
Yeah, she just needed to keep her mouth shut, man. She would have been fine.
She would have been fine.
The entire episode. But yeah, I didn't write too many notes for this episode. I'll actually show you guys. Look, can you see that? I only wrote down like a few things. But one of them says Monica is stupid.
Yeah.
One of them says Monica sucks. Because she just frustrated me so bad this episode. Ugh.
Yeah, she did not approach anything the right way in this episode. And I got the sense that Monica had been driving Kimmy nuts from the beginning. And Kimmy seemed to have a stronger bond with the guys, I think. You know, in theory, the all-girl thing is good and I like it, but I don't think it's something you can propose this early on, especially when you're split down the middle 3-3. You know, I don't know. It just seems, you know, why should it be divided either way? You know, isn't equality about just the individuals? So let's just, you know, really.
Why does there ever have to be a women's alliance or a men's alliance? Like,
yeah, and usually, for the most part, it doesn't end up being that way unless it's like one of those seasons like One World or...
Yeah, usually it doesn't. I mean, you hardly ever see those men's-women's alliances work out, you know?
No, you don't, because it's just kind of dumb to draw lines that way, because you're not taking into account the individual. Like, think of an all-female alliance with Abby Maria in the mix. I'd rather have a chill dude like Wu in there than a crazy lady like Abby Maria. So
yeah, I hear that. So let's talk about some other stuff here. When they come in for that, I think it was the reward challenge. Did you notice that they didn't show Bayonne's reaction to Varner being gone?
I did notice that.
They only showed Takeo. I don't know if that, like, if they didn't want to, like, because wasn't Varner trying to talk? Remember, Varner was trying to talk to Wigglesworth and the people on Bayonne. You know, he had something kind of going on with them. I would have been more interested to see their reaction to to them saying Varner was voted out, but they didn't show that. Do you think there's any reason for that?
Yeah, there probably wasn't much of one. Wigglesworth had the closest alliance with Varner, I think, but she's like stone-faced. She doesn't give reactions.
Yeah.
So, and I think everyone else after the, you know, the conflict from that one challenge where Varner, you know, started calling people out, I think they were completely expecting him to go home.
Okay, so you think nobody was really surprised by that?
I bet there wasn't much of a reaction there.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, sounds good. In that challenge, though, I just wanted to point out Keith was a beast.
And Jeremy sucks, just like in their original season. I don't know why Jeremy has this reputation for being good, because he's not. He's never been good in challenges. He proved that last week in the Hero Challenge, and he proved it again tonight.
Yeah, that's interesting how sometimes there can be this perception formed about somebody, but there's no track record to back it up. You know, like people look at Keith and they're like, oh, Keith's weak in challenges. But if you go back to his track record, that's how he got to the Final Four or whatever.
He got to the Final Four. If he had won Final Four immunity, who knows what could have happened. He could have won that game.
Maybe, yeah. So, and then people look at Jeremy, they're like, he's a beast in challenges. But yeah, you look at his track record, there's nothing there, you know?
No.
So it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, I think I like Jeremy. Sometimes I wonder if he's losing on purpose, but when you have a team, I don't think that would behoove you to do that. I think he just sucks.
Yeah, could very well be. What else interesting happens? What do you got on your notes?
Well, you know, David, did you know that having a heart transplant is the same thing as having a tendon replaced on your knee?
Oh my God.
Did you know that those are the same?
Abby Maria, jeez. What is her deal?
Unbelievable. Wow.
Whose mom's life was saved. Like, heart transplant surgery is miraculous, man. I mean,
yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, if you've ever seen that, like, it's like Frankenstein type stuff. I can't believe they can even do that. Oh, my grandma had heart problems. Well, yeah, a lot of people's grandmas have heart problems. This was Woo's mother, and you know, it was something that deeply
must have felt like such an ass when she was trying to use that with Tasha, because she must have sensed. Even Abby's not stupid enough to not sense that Tasha was like, how can you be saying this right now?
But she was good. Tasha played it off well. She was like, yeah, I know, I can't believe. I mean, she didn't say those words because you could tell that she was being fake and she was completely not believing what she was saying. But
exactly, but I totally agree. You're right. Tasha is amazing with Abby. Like, she knows exactly how to not. Like, you know, I'm sure Tasha wanted to be like, are you kidding me right now? But she was like, yeah, you're right. So
yeah. I mean, if I were Tasha, I would have, but it's gonna wear on her, you know? It's gonna wear her down having to do that. You can just see it on her face. Like, it takes it. And I can relate, like, when you're listening to someone you don't want to be listening to and you can't say anything to piss them off. It's exhausting to just sit there and listen to it and act like you're fine with it, and especially out there when you're already hungry and tired, and I mean, it's gonna eat at her, I think.
Yeah. So I was a little concerned about Spencer in this episode for a bit there, because they gave him like a happy little story of he's like, you know, I used to watch this show and look up to guys like Ozzy, and I looked at myself as like an awkward nerd type. But here I am, like, catching fish, you know, like, and I thought that was like gonna be his little, you know, let's give him a nice little scene before we send him home or whatever. So, but it turns out that wasn't the case.
I think it's the continued story of Spencer. I think it's gonna carry on a long way through this season. I think he's gonna go far, and I think they're giving him a good edit, because I can't think of anyone else other than Cass, maybe Jeremy, who's getting that much story. Can you? Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, there aren't too many people who are getting a lot of. Besides
Abby and Woo and the people, you know, Anchor, who we've seen so much of, you know.
That's not going anywhere.
No, I don't think so.
So, yeah, no, that's a good point. I think Spencer, this could actually bode well for Spencer now that this vote went the way it did. So. Yeah. So that's cool, because I like Spencer, so it'll be nice to see if how he does from here on out.
He's so intelligent. did you know he's only 22? He was only 22 when he filmed this. Like, I can't wrap my brain around. I mean, he's so young, but he's very smart. It's just strange to me.
I didn't realize he was that young, honestly. I don't think I knew that even when he was in Cagayan. So
he must have been like, 20, 21 when he was on
19 or 20, I would guess, or 20, something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah,
crazy.
Pretty amazing. You want to say anything about the immunity challenge?
Well, I think we can talk a little bit about the proposed Final 5 at Takeo. Like, do you think that holds any water?
Oh, I actually think it holds a lot of water. I would not be surprised. Yeah, I would not be surprised if those 5 stick together like solid all the way.
Yeah, you're right, because I can see Joe being like the de facto leader, but like Sierra and Cass actually kind of, well, and then you have Wentworth in there too. I don't know. All 3 girls are, and the guys I don't think are that smart. Joe is good at challenges, and so is Keith. Joe is probably smarter than Keith, but I don't actually think he has the intelligence of like Cass or Sierra or Wentworth.
Or anyone.
Well, yeah. No, he seems fairly smart.
Wait,
but
who are you talking about?
Joe.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, he's not dumb. He's not dumb.
No.
There's a reason I liked him in last season, World's Part. And it's because he wasn't terrible at the social or the mental game. So
yeah, but you were comparing him to someone like Vince, who was like certifiable.
That's true. So yeah, I mean, who is the new Takeo 5 then? It's Kelly Wentworth, Keith Nail, not
everybody
Terry,
but Deets.
But who name it? Is it Sierra, Cass?
Wentworth, Joe, Keith.
Keith, okay. Yeah, I could see that holding up. The only question is, you noticed in this episode that Steven and Jeremy were talking a lot about how they were concerned how voting Monica out would affect the former Bayon, the original Bayon. So obviously there's something going on where these guys all know that come merge time, Bayon is coming back together. And I think there might actually be a pretty strong, like, everyone's kind of on the same page there. That could be the only thing that will get in the way of this new Takeo 5, is if they decide to stick the original Bayon strong once the merge happens.
But the only person that will affect is Kelly Wentworth, and she has an idol. So
hey, that's true. I guess I didn't realize she was the only one in that alliance that affects. Yeah. So in that regard, then I think it will stick together.
Yeah, it's much too early to know what kind of wrenches are going to be thrown into things. Like you and I have said before, and other people, there's probably a switch coming soon, going down to 2 tribes. I would guess once they go down to 14. However, the preview for next week seems to indicate someone's leaving for a medical evacuation or something. And when that happens, usually they also have a tribal council. So that means we'll go down from 15 to 13. So
that could really shake things up.
They couldn't do a split when it's uneven. So then we'd have to wait another week, or I don't know what'll happen.
If you go to 12, I don't see a tribe swap happening. You go to a merge.
You think they'll just go to merge that early?
Yeah. At 10 or 9, yeah, I don't know. Can they do merges they've done merges at even numbers before, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, you can do a merge at 12 because then you'll have a final 3 and a jury of 9, which I think is usually what it is. So, wow, yeah. Merge could be coming soon.
Yeah, no, I think it really could. I think you could see a medevac, a tribal council, and then one more.
And then one more week.
Yeah, one more after that with the 3 tribes. So.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
So no tribe swap coming, and that means
into November.
The new Takeo 5 is pretty strong. So.
But they're only 5 in a merge of 12.
But they have the rest of the Bayon. I mean, the old Takeo is going to go.
It's not gonna shake out like that. It's not gonna be that simple. There's gonna be fringe Takeo members hanging on. You know.
Yeah, or Angkor. You mean Angkor? Fringe Angkor. What about Angkor members?
Angkor, yeah.
Oh,
Woo,
I'm sorry.
Abby.
Yeah, because Angkor comes from Takeo or Bayon.
Yeah, I'm thinking original tribe.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's like kind of the default in my mind right now. Is it's going to be Takeo original Takeo gone first, and then Bayonne plus Kelly Wentworth. But yeah, things could definitely shake up for sure. That probably won't happen, but yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, did you have anything to say about the immunity challenge? There's not really much.
Other than Wu apparently, or no, that was reward. I was going to say Wu apparently takes his dates to Chuck E. Cheese, which I thought was weird.
Where did you hear that?
He said all those date nights at Chuck E. Cheese paid off when they were playing skee ball in the reward challenge.
Oh, that was the reward challenge. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But immunity was fairly simple, I thought. Like, it was just climb a ladder and launch the thing, right? That was it.
Encore took first, though, right?
They crushed them. They took first by a lot.
Yeah, that was a big surprise because everyone was pretty much agreeing that Encore would never win immunity. So it was kind of a surprise.
I was so relieved. I don't need to see another Encore tribal council for a long time. So,
but we got to get Abby out of there before she makes the merge.
I want to see one more.
Wouldn't you have one more Abby Maria episode now so that she gets voted out before she goes deep into the game, where you have to suffer multiple Abby Maria episodes?
Yeah, they'd probably keep her around for a while if she makes the merge. So yeah, you're right. Encore can lose.
We need it.
Abby and somebody for an emergency, which is sad, but
yeah. After the immunity challenge, though, one of the stupidest things Monica said. She said many stupid things tonight, but the stupidest thing she said was, "Going to tribal is not a bad thing." I don't get how you could say that.
Yeah, that was. I think I could tell, like, when Jeff was talking to her, because they haven't been to tribal council. They've been there 12 days and they haven't had to play that part of the game yet. So it's probably like, she was probably just thinking, it's good to actually go and play the game and get one under your belt, because a lot of times these tribes that win a bunch end up getting taken out once the merge comes, because they're just not used to actually playing the game.
That's true. Yeah.
But I don't think she actually wanted to go. I think Monica had a tendency in this episode, though, to say just the wrong thing for her game. And what she said made her look stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't sound right at this stage of the game. Going to tribal is not a bad thing. And it happens to be the same episode she gets voted out. So, I mean.
It's a very bad thing.
Going to tribal is bad at this point in the game. You want to win all the way.
I mean, it wouldn't have hurt her to just say, nobody wants to go to tribal council, but we have to do it because we just didn't win today. I mean, you can say stupid, meaningless things like that just so that no one in your tribe is like, oh, why'd you say that?
Yeah, unfortunately, you kind of got to play the politics game early on. You got to, especially early on, you kind of just got to do the PC thing sometimes, just so you don't. Yeah. But yeah, that was her problem, man. And so in tribal council, it did seem like Jeff Probst was like trying to throw her a bone, like to get her to wake up.
He was all but painting a billboard saying, Monica, it's not going to be Wigglesworth or Spencer.
Yeah.
She was acting so weird, though, and she wasn't like saying, I think she felt bad that Kelly Wigglesworth was getting voted out, and so that's why she was quiet. Okay. I got confused and thought maybe she knew she was going home because her answers were so short and she just wasn't saying much. Yeah. But no, because the look on her face was Woo levels of blindsided. So
yeah, she did not know. She had no idea, and I agree. Like the way they edited her facial expressions and stuff almost made it look like she was sort of onto it. Mm-hmm. She should have been, with the way Probst was talking. He's like, hey, Spencer, so you like Spencer and you like Kelly? I'm not sure which one you're going to vote out. There's no way to distinguish. And then Jeremy's like, I guess we'll find out.
And how Spencer was like, hey, guys, I want you to know I'm with you. Maybe that should have been her clue that, okay, they're replacing me. Because that's what they're doing. They're replacing Monica with Spencer.
That's exactly what happened.
And she got
blindsided hard.
Yeah, hard. Very hard. Yeah, it was a really good blindside, you know?
Oh yeah, I gotta say, I love the way the votes shook out, like how neither Spencer or Kelly were really in on it. They kind of just voted for each other.
Do you think that they should have told Spencer or Kelly?
No, because I mean, if you're in the game, think about it. You're giving someone ammo to work with. Like they could just flip it all around, and then it's your ass. I mean, before you know it, Spencer's running to them. I mean, if you're not watching the show, you don't know how loyal Spencer is to Jeremy. For all Jeremy knows, Spencer's going to use that against him. Yeah. So
I just think it's interesting because last week, Tasha, Wu, and Savage could have voted Varner out. They didn't need Abby, but they still felt like and it became this whole thing about whether or not Abby's on board when they didn't even really need her.
Yeah,
so,
well, the key component there is Abby. She is a lot different than Spencer. She's volatile.
They're very different people.
You need to keep her. You need to keep her feeling included, or she will turn on you. And that's just an amazing move by Tasha and Savage, if you think about it.
Yeah. Mostly Tasha, I think.
Yeah, mostly Tasha, I think. Yeah. But yeah, with Spencer, I don't think you have to worry about it. I think he comes back and he continues to kiss their ass. He's like, I don't care what happened. Thank you so much for not voting me.
Yeah, I think it'll probably unite them as a 5, even though eventually they'll have to vote another one out if they go to tribal council again. But because Spencer and Kelly both thought they were potentially going home and they ended up being saved, they're both going to be like just happy to be there and grateful to the other 3 for keeping them. So I think, it's actually a pretty good move. So
yeah. So after this win from Angkor, kind of makes you wonder, is Angkor as bad as far as challenges? Are they as screwed as we originally thought? Maybe they're not as weak as we thought they were.
I never thought they were weak with the people they had other than Varner. It was just their situation. Like they weren't eating as much. They weren't resting as much. And
they're walking up a huge hill back and forth.
Yeah.
Uphill both ways, I'm sure.
That way. But yeah, maybe they're not. Maybe this will be, and they have the tarp now, so they'll maybe get some more rest and they'll be more energized to go get food and things. So maybe, maybe they're not so bad. And Varner, as much as we love him, he was no challenge helper. So
no, and it turns out if you listen to some of the media coverage this week about Varner's exit, turns out we were right about his foot playing a huge factor in that vote too. Like once he injured his foot, it was pretty obvious he was done. So
yeah, but that doesn't make for exciting television. So they had to kind of play that down and play up the Abby thing.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
That's why that happened.
Most definitely. I think that just about covers it. Anything else you want to talk about? Any speculations you want to make? Or should we start MVPs for the episode?
Are we going to do predictions for next week or no?
Which do we do first? I don't remember the order we do this.
We usually do predictions first.
Okay, we'll do predictions for next week first. Like you said, looks like we have some kind of medevac next week. What do you think's going to happen with that?
It seems to me more like, I don't know if someone's going to get hurt or if there's going to be like a family emergency type situation.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Just the way it seemed, like Cass was like kind of sad. I don't know. And they don't show, I don't know. It seems like it might not be a medical thing. But
so can we assume that it's somebody on Takeo then?
Yeah, I think so, because they showed Cass at night vision, and she would be the only one privy to that knowledge prior to the actual immunity or reward challenge. Or not she, but people on that tribe would be the only one privy to that knowledge. So it's probably someone from Takeo. It's probably Terry. It's probably my MVP.
Terry?
Yeah, he's going to go home.
Yeah. It's really tough to say. It could be anybody.
I don't think it's Cass, because I don't think they would have shown her talking.
No, it's not Cass. It's one of the other 5 on that tribe, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's really tough to make a prediction on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you're right. It's like a death in the family or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even like Wentworth or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not Dale. I haven't heard anything about You know, like I haven't heard anything. I don't pay attention to. I don't have him on Twitter or anything. So
no,
I'm
sure he's fine. I'm sure
I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wes from Blood versus Water.
What's that?
I'm just gonna say Terry because you this week, and I think it'd be fitting if I lost my MVP next week.
That would be really funny if that's what happens. Both our MVPs back to back.
Don't even make the merge.
All right. So if there is a tribal council next week, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that Bayonne stuff that they were showing has any implications as to what's going to happen?
I have absolutely no clue what that could possibly be referring to, because it seems like Steven's talking about going to be the biggest move of the game, but there is no big move at Bayonne. I mean, Spencer's not that big of a move. They were already talking about it, and no one else doesn't. I have no idea what they're talking about. Okay,
my only theory I can come up with on this, because I feel the same way as you do, is there is no big move that makes sense here. What if Steven talks to Jeremy about voting out Spencer, and Jeremy gives Steven some indication that he doesn't like that idea, and Steven gets privy to the idea that Spencer and Jeremy are tight now, so Steven wants to go against Jeremy and Spencer, maybe even vote out Jeremy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is Steven goes to Jeremy first, says, let's vote out Spencer. Jeremy says, I don't know. And then Steven's like, why not? And then Steven's like, I got to get Jeremy.
That could be. That's a good theory, because the only thing I can think of is maybe Steven was encouraging them to throw the challenge to get rid of Spencer or something, because nothing else is a big move.
That's a good theory. That's a good theory.
But that would be so stupid, and I would lose respect for Steven if he suggested that.
Well, what if he's thought far enough ahead in the numbers where somehow it makes sense, like keeping Spencer would screw them in the long run or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? Steven's pretty smart. Maybe there's a reason behind it, and it would make sense.
You know, it's almost pointless to speculate, because it could literally be anything. So maybe something happens we don't know about. You know, I don't know. Who knows?
So yeah, when we make these predictions, have we always been predicting who's going to get voted out? Then
you have.
Have you been?
Well,
I mean, have we been? I mean, I don't not that we got it right or not, but have we been at least making the prediction?
Yeah, I think so.
So who's your prediction to get voted out if there's a tribal?
I'm still gonna go with Abby. I'm gonna keep saying it till she's gone.
Okay. I'm gonna say, let's just make I'm just gonna make a bold statement and say Jeremy gets voted out.
Oh my God! With an idol in his pocket?
With an idol in his pocket.
Oh no! But don't you think he's getting kind of a good edit?
Yeah, but a good edit to get voted out with an idol in his pocket, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could be.
So that's my bold.
Good edits too.
That's my bold prediction.
That's pretty bold, sir.
And then I'll say Sierra's grandma dies, and that's why she's got to go home.
Okay.
That's
all right. Pretty bold too.
Yeah, it is. I'm just going all out this week.
Go for it. Why not? Balls to the wall.
Yeah, just like Jeff Partner.
You know it.
All right. So I think that about wraps it up for this week.
We didn't do our MVPs.
Oh, MVP for this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think we mixed them up. I think we usually did it the other way.
No, I think we usually do it the other way.
We'll have to go back and find out. We don't even know how our own show works, Catie.
No idea.
All right, that's fine. MVPs for the week. Who's yours?
Kimmy Kappenberg.
Ooh, I like it.
Just because without her, Monica wouldn't have gotten voted out. So why not? And she actually got to speak, and she was kind of funny, and I kind of liked her. So whatever, I'm giving it to Kimmy.
I like it. I haven't really thought about mine. Takeo, is there anybody on Takeo that did something cool?
You can always just, when in doubt, just pick Joe.
Joe did good. You know what? I will pick Joe because his little I'm gonna play the game differently this time, or I'm gonna do things different. I'm gonna try and like lock down a Final 5 right now. And I don't know. I think he would have done that in his first time out if he had the opportunity. He just didn't have the chance. So I don't know. But I'll give it to him.
I think he should be. I mean, I think that's good for him. But I think he's got Sierra and Wentworth in there, who I don't think really want him to go that far. They both said so in their, or at least Sierra did in her pre-game interview, that Joe should not be around.
I think they'll use him as a shield for quite some time, and then they won't.
Yeah, but you can't take someone like him to Final 5 because you just have to win 2 more immunities, and he could easily do that.
Yeah, I think they'll cut him at like 8 or something like that. You know.
Yeah, he's gonna have
once the numbers line up right where they have the numbers advantage, they don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
That's when he's gone.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, that sounds good. Now we are officially going to end this podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week. And hopefully my bold predictions are correct.
And hopefully nobody dies.
Yeah, no shit. I agree.
I hope whoever is hurt or whatever is okay.
all good things.
Yes.
Am I gonna have to come up with a new prediction for who's gonna win, or is that? Is it over?
I think that's that. I think that's usually how it goes.
Yeah,
but you can just prognosticate as much as you want.
Yeah, I'll throw a new one out there next week, maybe.
Okay.
Or I need to think about it. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but sounds good. All right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye. Have a good night. Bye.